Okay. Okay, Joyce is here to take minutes. Good morning, Joyce. We do not at present have a quorum, so I am going to postpone the delay of minutes until hopefully one of our other folks join us. Jose is not able to join us today, and Jerry and Bob both have excused absences, we were told in advance. Oh, and Tyrika isn't here either. Okay, so we should be in pretty good shape. Is there any of this that we can? No, I suppose we can start. Okay, preferred uses discussion. Denise, did you receive anything from folks at this point, and did we able to sort of put it together? Any kind of
for preferred uses? No.
Okay.
That was going, I believe, to Jose.
Okay.
And I haven't heard from him. Attached to all of your other stuff was the mission statement that I heard from everyone.
Would you like to start talking about that with us?
Sure.
Okay. I thought we were. I thought you. By the way, I thought you were going to kind of consolidate everything. I guess this is the first step. We look at everything and then.
Well, there were a couple, like I said, that I didn't get back until last week or so.
Yeah.
But, I think overall, I think our goals that nobody really questioned the goals of what we were looking at. So the, concentrating and focusing on the 3 TIF districts projects there, creation of either the BID or the BDA, Business Development Act, area, sorry. And that being a long-term agenda, and then to make informed recommendations and act as a liaison between and partner with the departments, which we've already started. So, I mean, that's great. So it's just crafting the statement of purpose. I think everybody has the same elements. It's going to get the tweaking of the wording down.
Sadiq, you had your hand raised?
Yeah, one little thought I had was, since we are morphing into an authority, probably we'll have to rethink about the goals in the light of an authority rather than EDC as it stands now.
But we're not an authority.
Yes.
I mean, that's what we want to make very, very clear to everybody. The last thing we want to do is step on anyone's toes. We're all playing so nicely. But I got to, I've been doing this a long time. This is the best I've ever seen as far as cooperation goes.
Yeah, I think
what was the discussion about creating an authority? Was that an additional thing, or?
Are you talking about the Business Development Authority?
yes, yeah.
Yes, that's a different. Go ahead, you should talk about that.
The business, most of them call it a business improvement district, a BID. Some call it a BDA, Business Development Authority. Depends on which one. That's where you're forming an authority. It's separate, totally separate from the EDC. And that's strictly to improve the center district. You would,
okay, thank you.
you have authority over that.
Thank you.
Or the town has that, so.
Thank you. And Steve, I'll recognize you in a moment. Tyrika, why don't you unmute? Welcome. You now make a quorum for us so we can start conducting business. And we had skipped the minutes, and we'll go back to it. Right now, we're talking about the EDC mission statement. We just began the conversation.
Yeah.
Steve?
Okay, a couple of things. Just in general, in some of the statements, there's talked about political and administrative bodies, for instance. I would like to stay away from the word political and use elected and appointed wherever that has to be used. And I just throw this out sort of as a question. Do we want to be in our goals so specific that we refer, let's say, to the TIF, or even to the creation of this new development authority, or do we want to just frame that in general within the confines of our town ordinances and regulations and statutes? Because
what do you think, Steve? What's your opinion?
Well, my opinion is, once we start working on some of these things, when you get too specific, you narrow down your field of control and what you can do. So let's talk about the center district, for instance. We create this entity and it's successful. We still have that as a goal. Now, do we do we remove that as a goal, or do we transfer the goal to other areas, Blue Hills or whatever? Or do we make it so general that it doesn't need to be just that, but it's covering the town center or the Blue Hills district or the
Well-
Growth corridor?
When we're talking about it, we are general. We're talking about the 3 TIF districts that were developed within the TIF plan. We're not specifically saying the downtown, the center.
Okay,
We're talking about, a bid to support the TIF program and to the economic development long-term agenda.
well, let's take that a bit further then. How about if we just remove the 3 TIF districts? What if we create another one?
Okay, so we can, I've got it up on my screen right now. So I'm going to be highlighting. Okay, and that's a concentration and focus on projects within the TIF districts.
Within,
do that.
yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Anyone else jump in anytime you have a comment on this? We just start, I think Lenny came in a little later, as did Steve. We just started this conversation about the mission statement.
And then our second bullet is creation of a bid or BDA to support the TIF program. I can add programs,
Yep.
or instead of TIF programs, TIF districts.
Okay.
Programs. Districts, okay. And the economic development long-term agenda. Now, the third one is to make informed recommendations and act as a liaison between and partner with the appropriate town departments, TPZ and council. We can take out that TPZ and council and just with the appropriate town departments, because we may cross over into others at times.
And there may be new entities created that we haven't envisioned yet, yeah.
Right,
Well, you can insert the word, for example.
yeah.
For example, TPC and council. That kind of keeps it open.
Again, I think you want to be
As-
as few words as possible here.
Right,
That's always my issue with the mission statement, that it tends to
You
go
want
on.
it short and sweet.
Yes.
So let's talk about the statement of purpose. I know Bonnie doesn't like mission statement as a word.
That's just
So-
me. It's my little picadillo, so I'll go along with the majority.
Where I called it a statement of purpose on purpose. So I think with that, we want to be as broad as we can.
I think one other word could be vision. Normally it's a vision and mission statement, so you can use vision instead of purpose.
Okay. Is there anything that jumped out at all of you? Because you have, the examples that people gave me. Is there anything that jumped out at you that you really liked? Or that you didn't like?
No, I think there has been consistent emphasis on the quality of life, so that I would really want to be a part of that statement.
Okay.
Because I mean, I don't really like the total emphasis on business growth and development, and thriving of business. I mean, it should be more than that, I think.
Yeah, and I think that's a lot of people are using, to the word thrive lately to allow the community to thrive. So. Anything else that is jumping out at you?
The only thing,
Not
Questions?
necessarily in that, but just to go back to your second bullet point under goals,
Yep.
I would prefer to take out the term long-term in front of agenda,
Okay,
only because when we were dealing with COVID and some short-term agenda things, what the EDC can work on, I just think agenda is a fine word without qualifying a time frame.
nope, I totally agree with that. That's a good statement there then.
when it comes to this idea of thriving and well-being, the only issue I have with this is we, part of the problem we've run into is we start to get scattered and we start to get into areas that I don't are necessarily our purview.
Mhm.
So we can have it there, but let's make sure we understand that we're coming from the economic,
Right.
the economic piece of it is how we're going to get to the thriving community. And that's a very specific view that we have that is not shared by almost any other entity in the community. So I think let's just be a little careful not to warm and fuzzy here, if you know what I mean.
Right. Do you like the word? I have thrive in parentheses on mine. I had prosper, which prosper I pulled, I'm not gonna lie, I pulled most of this statement from the federal.
I don't think either of them mean anything, to be honest with you, so I don't care too much.
Prosper, okay, all right.
I'd like to hear from the rest of the group. Lenny, Nyanda, Steve, Tyreka. How about we just go around, okay, see if there's any comments. Steve, Sadiq, any other comments before I go to the other panelists?
I think I'm fine.
Okay, Steve?
Thank you.
I am as well. I'd like to hear from everyone as well.
Okay, Tyreka?
I know I jumped a little bit late, but on the first part of the mission statement, did we include anything about having, like, being the voice of the residents?
One more time, you're breaking up just a little bit. Did you get that, Denise?
Yes, you talking about our residents, and I think we talk about comprising of healthy, diverse areas that allow our community and our businesses to prosper. So community takes in the global of the residents. Okay.
Are you comfortable with that,
And it
Tyreka?
does say our residents to sustain a high quality of life.
Okay, does anyone think we need to emphasize diversity more in our statement? Okay. Anything else, Tyreka? No, okay. Nyanda?
I think that I like it. I think it speaks about the community, which includes both the residents and businesses. So I don't think that we need to really overkill it in adding more words. I think it's nicely put together.
Okay. Thank you. Steve?
Sure.
Yeah, I like the person who added the point of diversity. You don't see that in a lot of economic development statement of purposes or mission. Sometimes that word is forgotten, so I like having that in there just to remind people to have that thought process.
Okay, thank you. And Lenny?
Yeah, I'm just looking at what I wrote, and basically, I think we all saying different things, but at the end of the day, I think it should be nice and simple, nice and neat and simple. It shouldn't be complicated.
We're gonna try, yeah.
I know when I started 6-7 years ago, we was doing new and existing businesses. We don't want to forget the existing businesses that need to be, let's say, uplifted or encouraged to stay in business. So as long as it's simple and easy to read, it shouldn't be complicated. Any layperson can read it. I think that would be good with me. Just it shouldn't be complicated. I have to Google it. So as long as it's straight and simple, I'm all in.
Good take on it, Lenny. Thank you. Denise, we give you a little homework now?
You gave me simple homework. Thank you.
Okay, good. All right. And thank everybody for getting
Yeah.
involved with this. I know this
Yeah.
is not the easiest thing to do sometimes. And what's very encouraging to me is to see that there is a community feeling here in the group, that we really are pretty much on this. I mean, we may disagree how to get there, but I think our goals are all the same. So that's very encouraging.
Definitely.
Okay, I'm going to go back to approval of the minutes because we did not have a quorum when we started. Sadiq, I know that you gave some typos, which I noticed too, but I don't know, and I didn't get a chance to check to see if Jose had them changed or not. Have you looked at the minutes again?
Well, I did, suggest those. Some are significant, others are not very significant. For example, the word dependent instead of dependable. That kind of changes the whole meaning, and at a couple of other places. For example, TIF has been misspelled as TIFF.
Yeah.
So I mean, these are little bit things that should be cleaned up, and then there is a little bit of, spelling
Could
things.
you do a favor for me, because Jose is not available today, probably for a couple of days. Would you mind, Sadiq, looking at the minutes after the meeting and letting us know if there are any other changes, and we'll approve them with that proviso?
That's fine. Yeah, I can resend that. Yeah.
Okay, I'd
I sent you the
appreciate it.
copy with the corrections, but I can look at.
I don't know, I didn't get a chance to take a look at the,
I will do that. That's only
Great.
press of a button.
appreciate that very much.
Thank you.
So with that understanding that we may come back and make corrections again, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the December 14th, 2021 meeting.
So moved.
Okay, second.
Second.
Okay, any further comments or discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Okay, minutes passed. Okay, preferred uses discussion, we still have not, we've done a good job, guys. We've got the mission statement part done. We're still looking for that. And I don't know at this point, to be perfectly honest with you, Denise, if we ought to just hold off and start the plan of development and figure that that's the way we're going to get there, because we keep on asking, we don't seem to.
I think it's good to start the discussion on it. Yes, you're going to learn more as you go through the POCD, but I think to have that base or those suggestions that you want in there, your comments are a good start for it.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
I'll check more with Mike and maybe,
Okay.
and I'll follow up with Jose in a couple days too on that.
we need some help from you guys to get
Okay.
us started, obviously. That's what it is. So, and I've asked before, I would love to hear from you in the group over there.
Mhm.
Your thoughts about preferred uses, and maybe we can respond to them. Maybe that'll be easier for us
Okay.
than trying to tackle it on our own.
Would you prefer it within the TIF districts, the preferred uses by TIF districts, or?
Well, let's go back and recall what we were asked. I believe we were asked about tax abatements. Is that why TPZ asked us this? I don't even remember at this
You know what?
point.
I know there was the discussion up in the Toby Road, Granby Street area. There was the discussion that there were a number of storage facilities that were going in, and they wanted to say that's not really a preferred use in there. But right now there's no language or no guidance of what these would be. So I think we were looking at it per TIF district before.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that would make it easier too, because they will be different in the different
Right.
districts.
Definitely. There's some mixed uses that you could look at for, Blue Hills Ave and things like that were drawn up as part of the TIF.
So again, Denise, if your group
Yep.
could just give us a little bit of a template to play against, and we'll try really hard to do our homework this time and get
Okay.
it to the next meeting.
All right.
Is that okay with everyone? Okay.
Yep.
Is it like a problem if we come up kind of like with like a basic generic just ideas of what we want to see in our town, just like as a group, and then once
Sure.
you send that template, kind of
Sure.
pinpoint where
Sure.
we want to see these things?
That's fine, Tarika. That's really what we're trying to find. We just thought it might be easier. Whatever way you want to group your uses or not group them is fine.
And I think, Tarika, if you haven't looked at it yet, I think it's beneficial for everybody to take a look at the TIF districts plan that was drawn up, and you can access that through the website right now. So if you go on, the Bloomfield site, it's under economic development.
Okay. Sadiq, Joyce just said that she can make the corrections. All right. Okay.
So, yeah, I have identified them, so if you can do that, that'd be
Okay,
great.
good. All right.
Yeah, one less thing to do.
There you go. Okay, thank you. Okay, as I said, I had a feeling this is going to be a relatively short meeting. We'll see how we're doing. So this is deferred use. Coordination with Council Land Use and Economic Development Subcommittee. Again, I didn't get a chance to talk to Jose. This is Jose not being here for the very last minute thing. I think that this refers to our participating in their meetings, as they very often participate in ours. And we had a really good showing at the last meeting, which was great. I hope people got something out of it. I think it's I think you're seeing a willingness and a paralleled view of what needs to be done between that committee and our commission. Does anyone have any thoughts about this? I mean, I'm not asking for volunteers. I've already said I will attend these as often as I can, because I think it's just good to learn how the folks on the other in the other group are handling things.
Bonnie, I
Yep.
did reach out last week by email to the chair, just to kind of follow up. I participated with you, and I know Bob Ferger.
Mhm.
I remember.
And Lenny also, I think.
Lenny,
was
yeah,
there.
that's right. Just to follow up to say that we are available if anytime he would like to meet to discuss things. We're available to assist.
And did you hear back from him?
No, not yet. I have not heard back.
Okay.
But Friday, the town hall was closed and a lot of other things were, so if I don't hear from him, I'll try him again, or I'll check with Jose when he's back.
What do you think of the meeting?
I thought it was a very good meeting. I thought it went very well. They were very
I did too.
receptive of what we were discussing with them, and I thought they were open.
Yeah, I had the same reaction. And I also thought you had people there that actually had interest and knowledge of their subcommittee text,
Yes.
which I thought was
Yes.
really good. Any other feelings about that? Lenny, you want to give me a reaction to your to the meeting?
Yeah, I think they're very organized. I think that it seems like depending on when you came in on the council, some of these guys have been in office before. So I guess certain issues were ongoing and they haven't made a decision for whatever reason. It seemed like there was no continuity, but it's I think, when they send out minutes, people should read their minutes to keep the agenda going, keep it moving. It seems like in some areas that some people get opportunity, some of the council people get opportunity to review stuff, but they can't make a decision, bring back to council. It seems was no continuity there, but other than that, I think that it was good. It was beneficial for me to be a part of it and listen to what they're trying to do. Yeah.
And decision making that is what the council does, and thank God we don't have to. So, thank you.
Yeah.
Any other comments about this? If we could, and Denise, you got your hand up. Did you want to comment on something?
I just wanted to let you know that either Mike, myself, or Dave Driver have been sitting in on those meetings too.
I'm sorry. Yes, that's true.
And that Mike and I, Jose, Stanley, and Counselor Harrington all had a sit down one day and talked about, working with them too. So.
And were they receptive?
Oh, very, very. It was a great
That's
meeting.
wonderful.
It was very good.
Yeah,
So-
we have to take opportunity. There's such a good feel and vibe in the town right now.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I just wanted to let you know that we have made a point. I didn't get to that last one, but I was at the two previous ones. So.
And I think everybody automatically is on the list for the meeting notice. If they're not, Denise, can you just remind me to check with Jose and make sure we
Okay.
are? Does everyone get a notice of the town council, TPZ, and the economic subcommittee meetings? Okay, good. All right, so you got the opportunity. Great. Okay, commission member updates. I know Bob isn't here and he does have some good news, or there is some more progress being made on the arts projects in town, but I'm going to let him bring that up next month. Does anyone else have anything they want to bring to the commission? Okay. Public comment. Would anyone like, Kevin? Okay. Are you unmuted, Kevin?
I think so now. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh, hi. Good morning. Good morning, Bonnie. Good morning, Commission.
Good morning.
Just wanted to make a couple of quick comments. I really enjoyed the discussion on the mission statement, and I agree with the comments that were made. I do think that in reading through these, I particularly, and I think it was alluded to, like the comment, I think Sadiq submitted about the mission statement should look at a balanced and holistic approach. And I think you're getting at that with quality of life issues. So I think that's very good. And I also wanted to mention on the purposes and uses discussion, which is ongoing. I think one of the drivers from that, as was mentioned, is the abatement policy. And there is a specific portion of the abatement policy that asks for the business asking for an abatement, tax abatement, to explain why they fall into the list of types of businesses that would be desired. And there is no list of type of businesses that would be desired. I think this came up with this commission.
Yeah.
I don't know, 6-8 months ago, when there was something out on West Dudley Town Road, and they had submitted a whole package, but they couldn't answer that question.
They were a developer basically, and they did not have a specific tenant, and they didn't have a tenant for the whole area. And then
Right.
and I think that's how the conversation started.
Right.
It's my
Right.
recollection.
And I also want to just echo Bonnie's comment about the vibe in the town. I hope everyone read the mayor's article in the Messenger for the vision for 2022. And I think reading the economic vision there and the type of development that is being looked for really goes along with what this commission is trying to do. So very good discussion, and thanks for letting me speak.
Thank you for attending. I always appreciate the feedback. Town manager, would you like? I know you came in a little late. We finished a conversation of the mission statement, which you'll see in the minutes, and now we're just talking about preferred uses. If you have any comments at all, preferred uses for tax abatement.
Good morning. No, I don't,
Okay,
Madam Chair.
but welcome. Nice to see you.
Thank
And you
you.
can call me Bonnie Stanley, because I'm going to call you Stanley. No formalities in this commission. Okay, staff reports. Staff is not here, so. And the same thing with town project updates. Stanley, maybe you can give us some, either you or Denise. Can you give us any update on what's going on with, say, the apartments, the old hardware store, the Alexandria Manor, any of that?
I don't have any update.
Yeah. Go ahead, Stanley.
No update.
Okay.
Okay.
The only thing that Jose told me is that they came in for I talked to him last week, the end of last week, for the apartments in the center, came in for looking at permits and stuff. So.
And these are the ones on Jerome Avenue?
Yeah, so.
The ones on Bloomfield Avenue, are those basically stalled at this point, or are they just going to go to phase 3 or?
That I don't know.
Yeah, okay. Okay, your report, Denise.
You all got our report. Did anyone have any questions about it? We are looking at, continue talking with people. We put I can talk this morning, I'm sorry. We just did a constant contact that went out to all the businesses that are on our list about the new mask mandate that Stanley issued last week. We had a great open rate on that, by the way. So we continue to, keep contacting people. I know that Stanley and Dave Driver have a meeting set up with Cigna, I believe, talking with them. So we continue to keep open lines of discussion. We continue to move along on the, the Toby Road discussions that we were having with the developer out there. So.
Any questions for Denise? Okay. I'm just going to give you just a very quick overview. As you all may know, you all know that Jose is retiring. He will be with us for our February meeting, and then I don't know if he's going to be staying on once the new town planner is brought in or not for any, for a transition period. But I am on the initial interview committee, as is Barry Burnson, TPZ, Kevin Hussein from the council, and Tom Hooper. If any of you remember Tom, who was our town planner before Jose, and he has been a great asset to us because he's got, he was here for 26 years. He's got a lot of background. Stanley, I think we have one more interview today, and then we are going to be sending you our recommendations. And speaking for myself, and I think for the group, very impressed. We've got a good diversity, and we've got people that have skills, and we've got people that understand our community, which was probably one of the most important things we were looking for. So good luck.
It's nice to hear, Bonnie. It's actually the first feedback that I've gotten of any substantive nature and how the interviews went last week, and I was aware that you had one more today. So I'm very happy to hear that report because I intend to move ahead quickly. If we've got a candidate that fits Bloomfield and Bloomfield fits that candidate, I'm really waiting to see, or at least to get the recommendation from the initial panel, and then there will be a second panel that I'll be a part of.
Right.
And depending on the recommendation that comes from the panel, then I'll be working with Jose on a transition plan, including a potential extension of his continuing to work with the town as a contractor until we get someone officially on board.
Well, we were pleased that we had people that have done some of the projects that we're anticipating doing. So that is also very encouraging. So good job with the recruiting. It was actually a pleasure to talk to people. Thank you.
That's the best news. It's the best news I've gotten all day because the way that
it's early.
The way that my day started, I pretty much was thinking, well, I think maybe I shouldn't even go out. But Bonnie, you've made my day knowing that we've got a good group of candidates to select from with diversity.
That makes me happy, Stanley. Kevin had asked a question, Denise. Does total town employees mean residents who are employees?
No, the total, we do not, we're not able to get that information anymore. The state will not release that. There's certain things, the report that we gave you on total employees comes from what we could garner from various sources, because as of a few years ago, the state stopped tracking, they didn't stop tracking, they stopped giving out that information, even if it was for towns. So we were very limited as to the information we could get. So it took a number of sources and then a number of calling and to get the information, and we couldn't get the number of actual town people that were employed by them. So
this is going to set a record for the shortest meeting we've ever had.
How'd you do that, Bonnie?
The people were sick,
And we know Jose is a talker.
Well, Jose is a source of a fount of information for us and a talker. Yes. I think we all do it ourselves. Kevin has asked you another question, Denise. I don't quite said, so what does that mean?
Hang on, let me pull it up.
So what does it mean?
So what does it mean? It means that those are the total number of employees that are employed by those top businesses within Bloomfield. They come from all the surrounding areas there, and it is not Bloomfield specific employees. It's the total number that they employ at that facility in Bloomfield.
Okay, any other questions or comments or concerns from the commission? Okay, hearing none. I want to remind you that our next EDC meeting is Tuesday, February 8th at 8:30. It will be Jose's potentially last meeting with us, so I encourage everybody to be here. And Denise, actually, I'll have Jose do it. I want to make sure that everybody has a list of when the subcommittee, the TPZ, and the council meets. So
And
that
those
they-
are also accessible online.
And
We
at the
can-
website, right? Yeah.
On the website too.
Yeah.
So we'll make sure there's a calendar.
Okay, because I think, as I said, I've been through a lot of commissions over the years. This is, without a doubt, you guys are the most active we've had in a long, long time. And I want to keep you interested and involved, so stay tuned. Okay, everyone, happy Martin Luther King weekend. Stay warm, stay healthy, stay masked, and we will see you next month. And thank you all for being here, all our attendees.
Have a great day.
You
Take care,
too.
everyone.
Have a good one.
Have a good day.
Bye-bye.